Welcome back everyone to StatWaste's channel. My name is Ali Casey. In today's video we will continue the beginner series and we will do the walk forward analysis and the walk forward matrix analysis. So let's jump in. In today's video we will continue the beginner series and we will focus our attention today on walk forward optimization. Walk forward optimization considers one of the best tools available to test the robustness of a strategy. And basically, it works as follows. Remember before, when you build a strategy, you basically have a way to divide the data into samples. So for example, we can do in sample as 70% and out of sample as 30%. Or we can do it in the middle or in the beginning, or we can have multiple in sample, out of sample. We can divide it equally. We can do whatever, but that's it. That's once we do that, then that's all we have. The other way to do it is to divide the whole data into equal chunks. So for example, this is now dividing the data into 5 parts, and then each part has a percentage. So if we focus on, let's focus on this for example. So the green part now, the optimization period is this. And then the out of sample is actually, that's what we're gonna run. So we will divide, for example, if this is 10 years, then we will do this for 5 runs, we will do this 5 times. So except the out of sample will be running the in sample data, the in sample parameters. So whatever we got the best optimization in this period, we run it for the rest. And then we shift for the next period. So if this is 4 years, then we're optimizing 3 years and we're doing we run the strategy for 1 year based on that optimization. And then once that's done, then we optimize again for 3 years and we run for 1 year. And we do it until the period is done. Now this period you can divide it 2, 5, 10, 20. It's all up to you. Of course, with doing it with a computer, it's very easy to pick and choose what's the number of runs and what's the percentage of the optimization. So to do that, I just built strategies for crude oil and picked 2 that are simple and complicated. So these 2, they are very simple. They have only 2 parameters, which is the number of bars to exit for long and for short. And then the next one has multiple parameters. So exit bars, bars valid, price entry multiple, ATR period, stop loss, and so forth. And so both of these will give us different results, and I can show you what will happen. Of course, you can do the robustness testing while building. So while building, you can pick and do this, or you can build normally and then just pick and choose whatever strategies that you want that are good, and then you send them to the retester to do the robustness check, and that way you can save time. So both these strategies are here, and basically we will run now with the walk forward optimization. So let's go to full setting, ranking is off, and then we will switch this off and switch walk forward optimization. And this is the number of runs, so walk forward runs. So to compare it to this example, this is 5, here we have 10. And the out of sample percentage is 20, and I suspect this is 25. But anyway, so you can pick and choose here. And then the number of tests. Of course, like Monte Carlo, the higher number of tests you have, the more accurate picture you get. But the thing is, the number of tests also depends on the number of variables you have. So in our case, for the simple strategy, you can only have so many number of days to exit. While in the second strategy, because we have too many variables, we can obviously pick and choose. So I'll show you. So for this one, let's say the price multiple, we can go from 0.2 to 10, step 0.1. The exit number of bars we can do from 2 to 20, step 1. And so you can see we have too many variables, and when you multiply all of them together, then you will get like million combination. But for the simple strategy, there is only so many bars you can do. Let's say if you're stepping from 2 to 10 or 2 to 20, then you have 18. So 18 times 18, that's it. It's less than 1,000 combination. So while you can get, we can choose more than 1,000, but it will depend on the number of variables inside a strategy. So I'm going to pick 10,000 here, and I will pick the slowest, which is the exact. Now, percent is the period. So because we don't know, or we actually do know, so this is the data. So we have, let's say 20 years here. So you can pick it by as a percentage, which is a lot easier, or you can pick exactly the number of days of in sample and out of sample. And the floating and fixed is for the variables. And again, floating is the easier one to pick. Filtering is like the filtering we did before. I didn't go into detail on it because I plan to do a separate video dedicated to ranking, which same as filtering here. So I suggest for now we do the recommended one. Just do recommended and replace. And this is the recommended conditions for the walk forward strategy to pass or fail. So right now we have 80% of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 5 of these conditions, if they pass, then the strategy will pass because it's 80%. And let's hit save. Then we go to progress, and we're depositing the results in portfolio. So we'll click start, and we should have now 2 new ones. So the second one is working. We can see this one, and we can see the walk forward results. So this result shows these are the 10 period. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we scroll down, and this is 10. And this is the current period. So the current period started in September 14th, and it will end in January 6th, 2022. And here are the parameters. So if I'm running this strategy in a trading account, then I will set the exit after bars to 8 and exit after bars 2 to 10. And then I will keep this until January 6th of 2022. And then in January 6th, 2022, I will redo this exercise again, and I will get a new set of parameters to trade it for the next period. And you can see that the number of periods. So for example, we started in July 2007 and ended in November 2008, and it's 2,397 days, and the out of sample is 479 days, and they are equal all the time. And these are the parameters we get for each trading. And of course, we know it's failed. Only 2 succeeded, so that's why the strategy failed. And for the next one, because we have more parameters, and that's why I put at 10,000. So obviously for this one, we didn't have 10,000 iterations because there's not enough parameters to do 10,000 tests. But for this one, we surely did. And this is what we came up with. So again, all these parameters is for this period. And then lastly, which is the current period, this is what we have. So the ATR period is 26 and cross period is 14, bars valid 7, and so on and so forth. And again, this strategy failed because it didn't achieve 5, because remember we set 80%, which is 5 out of 6, and we failed on this one and we failed on this test. Now the view here, you have the default walk forward, which this is the in sample and this is the out of sample. And for me, I created one, and again I will go into details about how we do this with the ranking, because it's all related, the filtering and the ranking and the views. But just to give you an example, what I did here, I created, this is the original strategy, and then I created a score. And the walk forward score, it's basically a percentage of the original strategy. So for example, let's expand this so you can for this strategy, the walk forward score of net profit, that means this is the percentage we got from the original strategy. So the original strategy made $283,000, and our walk forward strategy, the total of the walk forward, the out of sample, is 55. So how did we get this number? This number, if we go to the equity chart, so the original strategy is the gray curve, okay? And the out of sample, these are the out of sample periods. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each two red lines represent one out of sample. So if you combine the total of these out of sample, which I can do here, you see sample, full, and sample. If I click out of sample, I will only see out of sample. So this is my out of sample curve. And this line is the original strategy. Okay, so the out of sample made this much money, which is, if I click hover here, it's 200 and something. The out of sample made about 200,000, which is here 266,000. The original strategy made 237,000. So that means we made more. And how much more? We made 12% more, because it's 112%. That's the score of net profit. So it means the net profit is better. And the drawdown is less than 100. That means we have better drawdown. And we can see here, the drawdown is $43,000, and the drawdown here is $59,000. And then the return to drawdown ratio is also better, is 154%. That means it's 54% better, because we achieved more profit and less drawdown. And Sharpe ratio is also 13% better. The stability is less because it's under 100%. And the win-loss ratio is better, meaning we have more winners than losers. While this strategy, this is worse, better, a lot worse, because it's 19% of the original. And also a lot worse, 5% of the original. And look at this, the drawdown is 356% more. So that's a lot worse. And the profit is 19% more. And remember, this strategy failed. Yes, miserably failed. Like this strategy, only 2 of the conditions true, while this one, 3 of them are true. But look at the figures here show us much better picture than this one, even if it failed these 2 tests. Like I'm achieving better net profit, better drawdown because it's less, better everything. The only thing I'm missing here is the stability. And even the stability is only like 4.5% less than the original. So that's really good. While this one I'm worse in every figure, and also of course here. And the equity chart also shows. So for this strategy, this is the out of sample, and look, we were underwater and then above, and we barely made any profit. And this is the original strategy. While with this one, we're actually matching the original and surpassing it at one time. And then trade analysis, you can do the same. This is the original, and this is the walk forward analysis. And the list of trades, same. This is the original, and this is the walk forward. So basically, with walk forward, you get to get both the views for everything, and that's how you find out, based on these conditions, how you find out it's robust or not, because we can set this score. Now, the concept of walk forward matrix is basically multiplying this analysis by a number of times. So let's imagine you want to do. So remember when we did this, we did 10 runs and then 20% out of sample. What if I want to do 8 runs and 25 out of sample? And then maybe do 12 runs and 15% out of sample. And then I want to combine the results together to see what the picture looks like. Because if the strategy is stable, then this should not affect it. Like, it shouldn't break down. The strategy should, if it's profitable, it should stay profitable, but let's say plus minus 5-10%. But it shouldn't go from profit to losses. That means the strategy is not stable on those parameters. So what we are looking forward with the matrix is to find a stable region for this. And this is how we do it. So you can see with the walk forward matrix, we're basically doing that, doing multiple walk forward optimization runs. And so in order to do 9 matrix of 9, I need 3 of here and 3 of here, and 3 times 3 equal 9. Of course, you can build as small, like as 4, 2 by 2, or even 1 by 3. Like you can build a matrix of 2, of 3, or of 50 or 100. It's all up to you and up to your computer speed and your time available. But a safe number is between 9 and 25, and that should give you really a good idea of the stability of the strategy. So if we want to do, let's say, let's do 4, something in between. So I will do from 10 to, so 10, 25, step 5. So that will do 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's 4. And then we will do 5. Actually, we can do this, 5, 20 times 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So that's also 4. So that should give us a matrix of 16. And let's do 5,000 tests. Same everything here. Now, this is, let's set it same like before. The difference here now is we can set a stable region. Remember before, so let's save this. Here we set the filter as some percentage to pass these filters. So for a robustness score must be 80% to pass of one of these, of 5 of these 6 has to pass. Here it's the same thing, but now we can set it on a region. So what we're looking for here, we're looking at least 7 runs. Remember, we are doing 16. We want 7 of them that have the score above 80%. And this 7, it's not everywhere in the 16. It has to be within an area of this 3 by 3. So out of the 16 squares, remember we're going to have a matrix. So out of the 16 squares, I'm looking for a region that is 3 by 3. So that's 9 squares that have 7 of them passing 80%. And I will make this easier, and let's make it, so there are 6. So I'll pick 45%. Okay, to be true, because I want to show you a stable region. So let's save this, and we come back here, and let's run, and we should have now 2 of them with a matrix here. Of course, it's going to take more time. So this is the simple one, and you can see the matrix here now. Now we have different ways to look at this information, and first of all, we're looking the walk forward net profit. Remember, we are adding all the out of sample, and that's the walk forward net profit. And we can set this z-axis here. And again, I will do a separate video on, because this is also related to these guys and to the ranking, because they're all the same variables that you can pick and choose to show something. So to make it easier on you, let me show you, let's say, I can show you, okay, let's show the number of trades. So now this z-axis is the number of trades. And you can see there's a huge difference in the number of trades. So this one has 320 trades, and this one 500 and something. So you can see, you can pick and choose to show. Of course, the net profit is the simplest way to see things. And now remember, we had a matrix of 16. So I can see the result here. These are the 16 cells. And I can see that 5 runs at 10% out of sample, 15%, 20%, 25%, they're all passing the threshold I put in. So if I click the 5, 10, you can see the threshold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them passed the test. So my robustness score is 5 out of 6, so it's 83%. And then if I click on the next run, of course, same thing, because I know here it's already passing. And then the next run, and that's why they all pass, because I set 45. So 45, that means only two of these, that means they pass. The problem is it's not in sequence. So in order for this to find the stable region, I need 7 of these to pass this test in a 3x3 cell. And unfortunately, I don't, because I have only 4. So to give you an example, I need, so for example, let's take this 3x3. So if I have 7 cells in this 3x3 region, then the strategy will pass. It failed because I didn't have 7 cells in adjacent region, which is 3x3. So if this is too complex, then just please rewatch the video and you will get it. Basically, we are doing multiple walk forward analysis. Remember, here we did 1, and here we did 16 in the matrix. And this number is not fixed. I can do 2 to 100. It's all up to the number of runs that you pick. So the number of out of sample and the number of runs in step. So if this, let's say, comes to 20 and this to 20, that means you're going to have a matrix of 400. So if you have a matrix of 400 with 5,000, you can imagine how this scales up really quickly, and then it takes a lot longer to test it. But if you have the time, then why not? Of course, you can do this in a lot simpler way, and usually a matrix of 25 to, let's say, 30, it will give you a really good idea of your strategy performance in all these walk forward runs. And then Strategy Quant X make it a lot simpler by, it already is gonna pick, you can add, again, we will do this later on, but you can add any conditions you want here. And then you can also specify a region. that's gonna pass. So imagine if you have 30, I can pick a 4 by 4 matrix that has, let's say, 15 cells passing the 80% mark. So you can see how this is very customizable, and it all can be automated, and that's the beauty of SQX. Imagine you did your building, and then you pick, let's say, 10 strategies that you're gonna send it to the retester, and that you will do all this on it. And all this, by the way, can be customized in projects, which of course we're gonna come to sooner because we're just finishing the retesting now. So all this can be automated, and then at the end, SQX can save this strategy for you that passed all these conditions in the robustness testing. So this is a very powerful feature, and if you're buying SQX, this alone worth the money in my eyes. This tab alone, because remember, you can build any strategy in Algo Wizard, even a simple strategy. You can build it in Algo Wizard. But then to do all these tests automatically, running your own filters, that's the power of SQX. Great, you made it to the end of the video. I hope it was useful. Please share, like, comment, so Google can show it to other traders. And I'll see you in the next video.